Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Mad Sounds podcast. We talk about music and other whatevers. Today we had on, yet again, Mr. ACriticNamedKevin. I strongly recommend, if you haven't, listening to the previous episode we did where we talked about Grammy nominations. That episode was a lot more segmented. This one was a little more free-flowing. I think it was better for it, honestly. We got into a couple specific things, including the new Bruno Mars album and my controversial opinions on it. In general, I think things felt very natural in this episode, and I'm going to try to carry that over into however I change the format up going into this new phase of Mad Sounds. As you can see, I'm still experimenting with it a little bit. I might, give more updates when I finalize that in the future. Anyway, strongly recommend subscribing on iTunes if you haven't, or checking out my YouTube channel, Spin It Reviews, where I also upload this if you're just listening to this on iTunes. Follow me on Twitter at Spin It Reviews, and Kevin at ACriticNamedKevin. All info will be mentioned toward the end of this as well. Also, I mentioned this toward the end of this actually. We weren't able to do the car seat headrest deep dive this time, just because of scheduling stuff. We're going to do that at some point later on. One more quick thing if you're just listening to us on iTunes. Part of this involves my Top 10 Best Hit Songs 2016 video, which I put up on Spin It Reviews a couple days ago. Highly recommend checking that out before you get into this, just so you can get the full context of everything. You don't necessarily need to, since I do explain stuff before getting into it, but I would definitely recommend it. Anyway, without further ado, it's 5 o'clock in the morning when I record this. I really need to get going, so I hope you enjoy the episode. Get into it. Yeah, so one thing I actually decided to do when I was bored and getting through this 70-minute album I was catching up on is that I decided to go through my entire iTunes and look at the song titles and make a list of all of the song titles that have been used more than 3 times.
Oh, that's...
and make it a Word doc for, since I'm an aspiring songwriter and stuff, songs to never make these the titles for.
I feel like one of them would be Hello, correct?
Actually, no.
Oh, because I can think of 3 songs off the top of my head that are called Hello. You got Adele, J. Cole, Lionel Richie. And I'm sure there are others.
Okay. Yeah, probably. There are 106.
Oh, wow.
In my iTunes.
Mm.
And oddly enough, it never went above 6 as far as the number of times. I wrote that down too.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're curious, there was a tie for that. It was between Always, Satellite, and Runaway.
Runaway is pretty popular, I feel.
Yeah.
Kanye, Bon Jovi. I actually just heard that the
of course
Froyo shop I was at today. But yeah, I'm trying to think. What are some of the other?
Well, I just looked at iTunes now. So there's Bon Jovi. There's Linkin Park. I wanna run away. That one. Let me see here. There's Kanye, obviously. Yeah. There's Grace Potter song. There's Ed Sheeran.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's Rin Weaver song, Runaway, that opened up her debut record. But yeah, Satellite was the one that really surprised me, because I knew it was kind of a cliche thing. That many. Yeah, so there was, of course, Dave Matthews, P.O.D., obviously. Mm. There was an old B.O.B. song, Rise Against song, a 9 Inch Nails song, and an All Time Low song, so yeah.
Nice.
In a weird way, there was this precedent where I decided to recently that I'm gonna try next year to make an EP where all the songs are bad puns based on the name of the artist, and then doing a song with a title similar to that. So let me pull it up here. So for example, the one that kind of sparked all this was doing John Bellion's All Time Low in the style of All Time Low.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
And then maybe doing 21 Pilots' Car Radio in style of Car Seat Headrest.
That would be great.
Then another one came with doing Tegan Sarah's Walking with the Ghost in the style of Ghost.
That'd be interesting.
And then in the style of the 1975, doing like whatever the number one song on the year-end Hot 100
now
from
I need to see
1975
what was that. Okay, Billboard year-end 1975. I'm very curious.
I looked it up.
It is Rhinestone Cow. Wait, is that the number 2? Oh, it's Love Will Keep Us Together by Captain and Tennille.
Damn it.
So, yeah, I was saying from 1975 in the style of Captain and Tennille.
Well, if I can do a decent impression of Matt, he can make anything sound cool, so whatever. Okay.
I think for the longest time, I thought it was Captain Antonille. Like, Antonille was his name, and he was a captain.
Yeah. Yeah, well, then who would the singer be?
I think I thought maybe it was
or maybe it was like an early DJ situation.
Yeah.
Just all the having features. Okay, and let me just look at what some of the other ones were. I can just like go through these like super quick.
Mm-hmm.
If you want.
Oh no, this is actually pretty awesome. So I'd love.
Yeah. Okay. So if any of these like are interesting to you, just stop me. And I went in alphabetical order here. So there's. And then everything. So remember, this is the ones in my iTunes that occur more than 3 times, and I find this really interesting. I hope you guys do too. Okay, so there is After Midnight, Alive, All I Ever Wanted, Always, America, Angel, Angels, separately, distinctly, 4 times each.
Wow.
Animal, Awakening, Back Home, Beautiful, Believe, Boomerang, Breakdown, Breathe, Broken, Burn, California, Can't Stop, Change, Closer, not even including Chainsmokers. I don't have that.
Yeah, I was going to say, I can't imagine, you regularly bumping the Chainsmokers.
There are still 5 other ones.
That's crazy.
You know what? I'm going to look that one up too. Screw it. Like, really, anyone we stop on, I might as well look it up in my iTunes. I have it right here. So there was 9 Inch Nails, obviously. Kings of Leon. There was an Aerosmith song from their 2012 album no one remembers. Tegan and Sarah, obviously. Kelly song. And... Oh yeah, I guess that was it. I was looking at this Wonder Years album, but that's the name of the album. And also,
you should do a song by the Wonder Years in the style of the sitcom The Wonder Years.
That's actually genius. I should make this a full-length album.
Yeah, or some modern baseball song, but it's just you playing baseball.
Yeah, or it's like singing modern baseball lyrics over the dun 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 dun, like one of those organ things.
You see, I feel like it's a very weird world we live in when we have a modern baseball and an American football.
I know I got them confused constantly especially since they're like in the same genre.
Mm-hmm. Like I know for a while. Maybe not for a while. At least, like, my first listen to the album, I could have sworn the band was Teens of Denial and the album was called Car Seat Headrest. Because that was the first, Car Seat Headrest album I listened to. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, what I could say is that I could see that being a killer tribute band name.
Yeah. And what's funny is, when I first heard, because I remember, do you know the album Adore Life by Savages?
I'm aware of it.
Yeah, I remember when I listened to it, like, early last year, I was like, oh, I didn't know, that, I believe all members are women, but I didn't even know the lead singer was, so I was like, oh, that's pretty cool, like a girl rock group, and when I first heard Teens of Denial, and it begins with, what's up, guys, you're now listening to, Car Seat Headrest, I'm like, oh, I didn't know this one had a girl lead singer, and then it was Will Torino, and I'm like, oh.
You know what? There was like a rumor going around for a while that was Aubrey Plaza, but it's like, do you really think he had those kind of connections?
It doesn't sound that much like her either, I feel.
I mean, if you strain your ears, kinda, but But okay, let me keep going with this. So we stopped it closer. There's also Crush, Daughter, Do It Again, Dreams, Drive, Easy, Every Day. One word, Every Day. Oh, by the way,
Every Day. There's so many songs.
Yeah,
that.
Yeah. By the way, I wasn't just one kind of stipulation I had for this is that there wasn't anything where like there was a space in between. The only exception I gave where there was like a difference in the titles is if like there was some punctuation in there.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. I mean, are you curious about Every Day?
I am very yeah, that one I am.
Let's do that. So Every Day, and just make it easier, I'm gonna narrow it down to songs in the search terms. So we had a Phil Collins song, a Dave Matthews Band song, and a Bon Jovi song.
Now I gotta ask, what about Tonight?
I mean, if you want to skip ahead, I mean, I can go back to the other ones, sure, but Tonight, that I know that's on there, and we had that just 3 times.
I would have guessed a little more.
Well, actually, hang on a second. Let me just look at everything that starts with the word Tonight. This was something else I thought that was kind of fun to do. So we had Tonight by Def Leppard, Tonight by Kings of Leon, Tonight by Matt and Kim, Tonight the World Dies by Avenged Sevenfold, Tonight You're Perfect, New Politics, Tonight Not Again, Jason Mraz, Tonight, Smashing Pumpkins, and there was like 30 other songs in here with Tonight in the title.
Wow. No clipping in your...
No, that was today. Oh wait, oh no, that song. Oh, I hate that song.
Yeah.
There's a reason it's on my iTunes.
Yeah, I'm like a completionist. Like I always like save full albums to my library. Like especially with Spotify. You know, like, even though I only listen to the first disc of Spirit Phone, I don't listen to the bonus tracks, I still have, like, 20 bonus tracks in my library, because I just like having full albums. So, like, it's very funny when I save something like, you know, Clipping, and it's just this, like, terrible song, and I just worry one day I'm gonna be on shuffle, and I'm just gonna hear, like...
Yeah, I was gonna say... Yeah, you know what, I guess it's just partially a space-saving thing, but also, like, I think that, you know, over the time I've been listening to albums critically, I think it's just how I've been evaluating it by, like, how many songs do I delete from it, like, and it's like this accomplishment when I actually like every single song enough to want to keep it in there.
Yeah. Yeah, that actually makes quite a bit of sense.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm looking through my library, I can tell there's a lot of albums where I would delete at least one off of it.
Yeah. I mean, how much space do you have on your phone?
I actually, when I bought my phone, because I actually was like very late to the phone party. I've had like a tablet since I was like 14, 13. But I just never had a phone, and then I found a phone that I really liked, so I got it for my birthday. And one of the big things I'm like, okay, I'm willing to like splurge on this is a 120 gigabyte SD card. So I have so many like full albums on here. But I'm looking at my Spotify because that's where like if it's like if I like an album, I'll just save it. Like I was looking at YG Still Brazy. That's an album that I love. That I'm like, I would probably cut She Was She Was if I were to not save full albums.
I'm glad to hear that.
But what's funny is it kind of made me think of like how. I bought Still Brazy. I own a copy. I have it, in my Spotify library. Everything says Still Brazy Deluxe. But as far as I'm concerned, there's no like bonus tracks. There's no standard edition.
Yeah, I mean, do you just tend not to change like the metadata there either for albums you get?
I know if it'll say like, in parentheses, like, deluxe, sometimes I'll change it, but it's just very fascinating that it's like, these are the songs on there. There's no bonus tracks, but there's no, like, standard edition of Still Brazy. It's just the deluxe version, and I just, that's so weird to me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's the same thing with Views. Like, is there any version of it that doesn't have Hotline Bling on it?
I don't think
there is. But
then
they call that bonus track.
Well, I know, like, Kanye did that with, Late Registration. Like, it's like, okay, it's not really the deluxe version, but it's like, every version has 2 bonus tracks. It has, Diamonds from Sierra Leone, the original, and then there's like a hidden track late.
Wait, is that similar to like what Blink did with the Take Off Your Pants and Jacket, where it's like 2 different bonus tracks and like different editions of it, or is something else that's going on?
Well, I know Alt J always does like hidden tracks. Like the last track on, like if you buy it digitally, it's on there, but if you buy the CD, there's always just this, like the last song will always be like 12 minutes. But it's like 5 minutes of silence, and then the hidden track starts.
Yeah, like what everyone did in the 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to do something like that, where it's like just a track of like just silence, and then it's like, you know, then the hidden track is just like literally a second.
Yeah, you know what? Weird Al did something like that to kind of make fun of that in on his, I believe, Off the Deep End album in the early 90s, where it was the last song, and then there was 10 minutes of silence. So, like, you know, if someone like really just forgot to turn their boombox off or whatever, and then it's just this 6-second thing at the end of it of the loudest noises imaginable, just to completely freak anyone out.
Yeah,
that left it on.
I remember.
Yeah.
I didn't do it because I wanted to bring the CD in, and I also thought it would be a little mean. If I were to leave the CD of Death Grips in my car, not in my car, in my mom's car, and turn up the volume but shut off the car, and then so whoever would turn on the car next would just be scared by some loud noises.
Genius.
Of Death Grips.
I love that. So do you want me to keep going with this?
Yeah. This is fun.
Okay,
yeah,
so after every day, Eyes Wide Open, The Fighter, Fire, Fix You, Follow Me, Forever, Free, Go, Gone, Good Morning, Gravity, Hallelujah, Happy, Heart Attack, Heaven,
if Demi Lovato's in there.
Which one?
If Demi Lovato, the Heart Attack, if that's
no,
in there?
Actually, no.
Okay, good. Otherwise, I'd be hanging up.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand that. It was Beware of Darkness, False Puppet, and Waves. So it's actually kind of obscure there. But yeah. Anyway, Heaven, Heroes, Hold On, Holiday, Higher, Creed not included in that, I don't think. Hang on, let me check actually. Oh no, it's not included. It's Avenged Sevenfold, B.O.B., and Carly Rae Jepsen.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Actually, 2 of them from this year. I thought that was funny. You know what? Actually, so I was doing a lot of this while listening to the new Avenged Sevenfold album, which I decided just barely to not include in what you've been listening to lately if we're going to be doing that. But it's still a really good record, in my opinion. What I thought was funny is that while I was doing this, so I said Angels earlier. There's both an Angels and a Higher on the new Avenged Sevenfold album.
That's funny.
Which is weird because it's a pretty original record, but whatever.
See, now I want to do an album where all of the song titles.
Yeah.
Tonight, Hello, Higher, Angel, Satellite,
Runaway,
of course. I'm trying to think, what are some others?
Boomerang,
yeah, Boomerang's pretty common, I feel.
I'm Coming Back to You.
Of course. What else would it be?
Well, hang on, let me check the Boomerang ones, because I forgot, are all of them that metaphor? Yeah, the Bare Naked Ladies, Plain White Tee songs are both that. Not the included one though.
I assume. I think Watsky's one is pretty similar to that.
Okay.
So yeah, that'd be a 4.
Yeah.
For talking about ones with that metaphor.
You know what? Actually, my idea for this initially was to make it like a songwriting exercise where I do like write a song with like the one that had it the most, and then completely subvert it to have the opposite meaning. You know, but then I found so many. I was like, I can never use any of these under any circumstances.
Yeah.
Maybe never even include any of them as lyrics. You know.
Yeah, like never say the word higher in any song.
Never say the word alive. Never mind, let's keep going with this. Or the word one.
Well, I feel like even though, like, maybe not for titles. I mean, it is for titles, but like, even just in lyrics, the word tonight is always a filler word. Generally fairly good songs, I feel, but it's just like, oh, how are we going to wrap this up? Just say tonight. Genius.
Yeah, I feel like those and of course I might be biased because I just kind of came of age in musically in this whole time frame, but I feel like in like the transition from the late 2000s to 2010 to early 2010s, there was like a lot of that, especially in that whole time frame. And I guess I'm aware of that more because like the speakers at this place I work at now mostly play stuff from that time period that like Hey Soul Sister is the worst victim of this, where you did not need to put that there. It doesn't fit. It didn't fit with the line before it, but you just had to end it with Tonight, didn't you, Pat?
I know. Pink on what was the song? Leave Me Alone, Leave Me Alone, I'm Lonely. Quite good song. But it's just like the chorus is just like tonight. Like you could have used any other word there. You didn't need that. Did Fun rip her off? It sounds a little. It does sound a little different when she says it.
Yeah. Okay. So let's keep going with this. So, where was I? Oh yeah, Higher. So there was Higher, Home, Howl, Hurricane, Hysteria, I Miss You, Intro. Shut up.
Intro.
Hey, the fact there are that many, I actually kept on my iTunes.
Yeah.
Kids, Last Night on Earth, which I believe is the longest song title to be said that much. There might be one later on in the W's, but Let's Go, that's one I expected. Lies, Lost, Magic. Oh, by the way, for Lost, the punctuation thing, I include the Coldplay song in that. Yeah, so there's Magic, Maps, Mary. Kind of an oddly specific one, but I guess it sounds nice in a lyric. Then there's Medicine, Miracle, Misery, My Love, Novocaine. You know what? And the spelling of Novocaine, it's Novo, which is underlined in red in the Word doc. So no. I'm sorry. With the E at the end, that's what's wrong about it. I right click it and it's supposed to be without the E, but then all these artists are doing that. That's just how that happened. But okay. Then there's Now, Numb, One, Only Love, Only One, The Other Side, Paranoid, Photograph.
Oh, there's so many Paranoids.
Oh, yeah. I covered one of them this year.
Which one?
So let me see. Kanye.
Oh, of course. It's the best one. I said it.
I assume that the second you met me, you looked up everything I ever released on Bandcamp. Come on. Yeah, but yeah, there was Black Sabbath, Kanye West, and,
Jonas Brothers,
and Waves. That isn't on here, but I actually like that
song.
Oh,
it's quite good.
Yeah. Okay, we can go down a rabbit hole there, but then there is a Photograph, of course.
But yeah.
Hang on. Do I have the Nickelback song in the iTunes to count that? I'm just refreshing my memory with this stuff. No, actually. So it was Def Leppard, Ringo, and Weezer. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Then there was Promises, Real, Regret, Roses, Run, Runaway, Satellite, Save Me, Say Goodbye, So Far Away, Sober, Someday, Stay With Me, Stranger, These Days, Tomorrow, Tonight, Too Late, Too Much, Trouble, Truth, Tunnel Vision, Up All Night, Wake Up, War, Warning, The Way, Weight of the World, which I think might actually be the longest song title on here, Wheels, Where I Belong, You and Me, and 3 a.m.
Wait, how many 3 a.m.s are there?
3.
I know there's...
Well...
I know there's the Eminem one, and there's Matchbox 21, but I don't know if you have those.
And Chiodos.
Okay.
And weirdly enough, they're all like punctuated and capitalized differently.
Oh yeah,
like
because I know
one of them is cause like one of them is all lowercase, one of them is all uppercase with periods, and one of them is all uppercase but without the periods.
I can't remember. I didn't remember how, but I knew that the Matchbox 21 was definitely spelled differently than the Eminem one.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought that was kind of a funny thing.
Yeah, that definitely is a.
Yeah.
Today, if I can have a little funny story, I did tweet it. But
absolutely.
For those of you who don't follow me on Twitter, which is quite a few of you, I assume. My dad, I don't know why he did it before we were going out somewhere. So did hold us up a little. Love you, Dad. But yeah, just throw you under the bus a little. Just figured I'd mention that. So he was syncing his iPhone to his computer and wanted to get rid of a lot of music that he doesn't listen to, so they're not clogging up his phone. Especially because when he's driving home and he has it on shuffle, then it's like there's a bunch of stuff he has to skip because, he doesn't really care for it. Or just doesn't even know it, really. And so it was very funny seeing... And this is an artist that I do generally like. I did not listen to his most recent album because it didn't really interest me. But I do overall like this artist. But there was something so weirdly satisfying in seeing him just uncheck every single J. Cole song on there. It was just like he was just like and apparently we have 3 copies of Party Rock Anthem. Don't know
what.
I don't know why we have that many. I know I had 2 because I know I bought the original when I was.
Why
11,
do you have 1?
And I remember I bought a remix, but I don't know what that third one is or where it came from. I still like that song, but I don't think I like any song enough to buy it 3 times.
I mean, if I can give a really boring tech answer, maybe you just got a new computer and it's like a different drive went over there.
Could be, yeah.
That's happened to me. Like basically every time I've had to like refill the files into my iTunes, there's always like a few duplicates in there I gotta go through, and it's really annoying. Which is why I went through my entire iTunes voluntarily earlier.
Yeah, like it's really annoying. I just feel like doing it.
We as music fans tend to be masochistic like that.
I mean, why else would I listen to the new Meghan Trainor album?
Yeah, why did you?
It was quite bad. And I listened to that instead of, like, albums that are, like, really... Oh, okay, this is, like, gonna cause a lot of commotion, but don't think it's because, I like one more than the other, obviously. I listened to the new Meghan Trainor album and hated it, but I still have not listened to The Skeleton Tree.
I haven't either, so no judgment here.
At least that one, my reason is it just sounds like a very tough listen. I hear it's amazing, but it's just like, I don't know. But then there are, like, things that aren't tough listens that are just, like, considered to be quite good that I just have not heard, and I should.
I mean, like, I think that's the same case for me with, like the last couple, like, when the Swans albums, To Be Kind, and the one from this year, like, everyone is raving about them, and I was like, okay, I might get around them at some point, maybe get into them, but I used
to say that, and then I'm like, no, I don't have time for that.
Yeah, because my year-end lists are going to be starting pretty soon. I was actually, right before we record this, putting some recording the audio for my favorite hit songs of 2016 video.
Yeah, I'll be. My worst of the year video will be coming soon. I'm going to do a best of the year, but it's going to be different. I think it's just going to be like 10 songs I really liked this year, and not like these are the best.
Yeah, you know what? I think that everyone's doing differently this year. Like, for example, I think I kind of mentioned this on Twitter, but part of my motivation for doing it again this year is the fact that Double Agent just folded and basically said this year is so terrible, I couldn't find 10 songs. That's why I pulled out of what he said there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, and basically a lot of what this video is themed around, without spoiling anything, is that these are what I can try to find some kind of saving grace out of. And like, most of these songs are exceptions to this really horrible thing that happened in 2016. And honestly, I'm not worried about spoiling anything because that video is most likely going to be out before this podcast is out.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, now one thing that I did mention in that video that kind of leads into something I want to talk about with you, because it's something that I believe correct me if I'm wrong, I believe we do disagree on. I think it'd be an interesting thing to delve into. So we're not really going to be doing formally what have you been listening to lately, just because you didn't really have anything to bring to the table. Shots fired.
Oh.
But
I mean, I do have one thing because it did just drop, but we can wait.
Okay. Basically, one thing I kind of briefly said in the intro is that really, like, in addition to a lot of the newer faces showing up kind of sucking, a lot of, like, the mainstay pop stars, their return singles and albums have been either doing really badly on the charts, like no one cared about that Katy Perry song, for example. And like Pitbull's been trying out a couple things this year that no one's cared about. Or they've just been really like kind of a shell of what they used to be and are just like really empty, like the Justin Timberlake song, which went to #1, but like did anyone like I can't think of someone that like legitimately loves that song.
I mean, I think like a lot of people do, but in just the most casual sense. That's fine. I think that's what the purpose of the song is. Like I enjoy it quite a bit, but that's because it's just like, hey, it's something I can just listen to.
Yeah, cause it's like the most pop wallpaper song imaginable. But and then there was that, and like and like the like underperforming thing, like people joked about the Lady Gaga and stuff, regardless of its quality, just kind of moderately making a dent in at least the Hot 100. But the one that I found myself kind of in the minority on is Bruno Mars.
I want to know, what do you think?
I forgot. Did you see the video I put out like a couple months ago when the title track from 24 Karat Magic came out, and I just did this like off the cuff track review?
I did not see that yet.
Okay, so that was basically kind of like a placeholder video, just because it'd been like a month since I'd uploaded something, and I was in that weird funk from a couple months ago. But it takes the Uptown Funk formula and makes it a lot more shallow and less relatable's a weird term, but like, I feel like Uptown Funk, anyone can like walk around or like jam out feeling like a badass to that, whereas 24 Karat Magic's like, you and your ugly friends, and I've got all these brands and stuff like that. It's just how I personally took it, and I like compared it to like the luxury rap of the mid 2000s, and like no one wants a return of Rick Ross, and like comments like that maybe are a little misplaced, but I was a little unscripted there. And I kind of compared it to, and I'm just recapping the whole video, but I kind of said it was the musical equivalent of that 9 Lives movie that came out earlier this year, where it's like, yeah, there are bad pop songs coming out now, but I wasn't aware that we were still making this type of bad pop song. Kind of like how that movie is like, we're still like making like the Shaggy Dog type movies.
I mean, on the other hand, 24 Karat Magic probably would have been my #1 best of the year if it were on the year-end list. So this is a fun kind of contrast.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I imagined, because correct me if I'm wrong. Like, this isn't meant to be like a backhanded thing or anything like that. But I feel like you are a little bit more poptimist.
Oh, definitely. I am a very I do like a lot of things. I'm well aware of that, and that's why I was quite excited when I listened to 21 Savage, and I was like, okay, this is just garbage.
And I haven't had that experience this year. Like, it's almost annoying, like how I haven't scored anything less than a 3.5 this year.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm pretty, like, I don't do these as, like, official things, but, like, I kind of just kept a ranking of, like, certain albums. I gave 2 0.5s. That would both be Meghan Trainor and Simple Plan.
Of course.
Those were both terrible, terrible albums.
You know what I've loved is just is the slow process over the past, like, year and a half or so of watching John slowly come to the realization that Simple Plan was always terrible.
Yeah, I'm surprised that, like, I thought most people hit that, like, when they were born, but apparently not. Taking shots at John. Also, I wanna call out live on air. This is the hot radio show where, with a celebrity interview where he calls out another celebrity.
Sorry. I was gonna say, let me just download an air horn app real quick.
All right, you do it, man. You do it. I'm waiting for my fire. Yeah. And then next time you can get John on air and we can fight this out. All right. So
I can moderate it.
John,
/ stoke the flames.
What? Yeah. What was the deal with that worst of 2016 video where you had one of the greatest songs of all time as your number 2 pick. I'm not okay with that. I'm calling you out live on air, Mr. TV. Yeah, what was up with that, man? I'm ready to fight. Is it still downloading?
It's still downloading.
Okay. Yeah. What are you gonna do about it, fool?
I mean, are there any reviews of his you disagree with that you want to mention?
I agree with a lot of your reviews. I think you're a very well-spoken gentleman. Yeah. What do you think about that, huh?
Shots fired.
You heard it here live.
That was worth it. That was so worth it.
Kevin versus ARTV. It's happening. It's the new beef going into the new year. I'm going to drop a diss track called Cold Like Minnesota, Hot Like Fire Rhymes. Yeah, that's the title. Yeah, that would not have been good at all.
Yeah, so anyway, simple plan. What I want to bring up in some kind of context, and since you've heard that album, you know, is, so like the one song that he singled out a lot is Boom. And it's like the thing that he mentioned is like, you make crazy little heart go boom, which like it's like, dude, you're 40. Why are you writing lines like that? But what I want to call out is the part directly after where they didn't have a hook and they had like this section and they had like 5 seconds to think of it. So you just like boom 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 boom.
They're like, here's a word, we know words.
Without any kind of rhythmic flow or anything, just kind of stuttering the word. Yeah. There you go.
I wish that was the worst song on the album. I really, really wish that was the worst song on the album.
Please tell me that isn't in the top 5.
It's at least top 5.
Oh, God.
No. I meant top 5 worst.
Oh, okay.
See, Singing in the Rain was originally probably the worst track.
Okay, can you tell me what that song's about? Because I keep hearing that song title, and it's, like, does that have anything to do with, Singing in the Rain?
No, I don't. I'm fairly certain it does not.
It's such a weird.
I know it features our city,
of course, but it's like what I was saying with the song titles thing earlier. Like, what a weirdly thing to like for that to have the same title. That of all things, you know?
So I was like, okay, that's got to be it.
Okay,
there's nothing worse.
Yeah,
and I will say this, song "I Don't Want to Be Sad," that was decent. That was one song.
Just the title
where it was okay, not good, not great.
Yeah,
but it was something that I'm like, that's a song.
Wait, hang on. Did you keep that album in your iTunes?
I did not. I did not. I was like, the song Perfectly Perfect. Probably the worst song I've heard all year.
Okay.
It's between that and like that Blake Shelton song. What's the song called? She's Got Away with Words.
Okay. I mean, it's fitting because...
Those are probably my bottom 2 worst of the year.
It's fitting because my bottom album of this year is still the Gwen Stefani one, so they're just a match made in hell. Musical hell.
But like, Perfectly Perfect, like, kind of bothers me. Like, it's just like one of those songs where it's like, okay, this is, like, kind of frustratingly bad. The Blake Shelton one is just so stupid that I kind of hate it.
Yeah, I got you. So, But
because it's just like the chorus, for those of you who have not heard it, is she put the her in hurt.
Ew.
She put the Y in try. Let me get the exact quote.
Wait. The Y in try? There is no W in sound in what? How'd that get past like a co-writer, a label?
People say this song is clever.
Oh, and you know what? It's the same thing with the Gwen Stefani album. There are these weird times where it's like, you've been doing this for over 20 years. You should know how a rhyme scheme works. Or, like, how to form sentences.
Yeah, because it's like, I know he's talking about the sounds, but it's like, her does not go into hurt. That's not how you spell that. Y, try. And then she put the S-O-B in sober. She put the hang
that's a stretch.
in hangover.
Kill me.
I think the worst, just because of how, like, lazy it sounds, is she put the X in sex.
That doesn't even make sense.
She put the low in blow.
That doesn't even make sense in what it seems like the rest of the chorus was about.
Yeah.
But whatever. But I did want to go back to the Bruno Mars thing.
Yes, I'd love to. I'd love to just fight you.
Yeah, okay.
Let's do it.
I've got my Aaron horn ready for my burns, but so I decided to listen to the album like a couple weeks ago, and I decided to distinctly I wanted to make my first listen while I was going on a walk outside in the middle of the day, so I can, because I feel like that's like the ideal environment, instead of like holed up in my room, like analyzing everything,
Yeah.
Like what's just the vibe like? And I don't know, it's like the album is like so vapid all the way through, but it's like it doesn't even keep that much of an energy outside a few tracks on it, so it's just kind of sits there. Like it's weird. Like, hang on, let me pull up the track list because I'm having trouble remembering what each song does individually. You know what? I'm kind of glad that this wouldn't go on like a worst albums of the year video because I'm not doing that. Because I know that my dislike of this album is like the most biased opinion I've had all year.
Yeah.
Because, like, let me give a little context for, like, the first time I felt this feeling I'm going to be describing for this album. So last year, this is going to sound a little random, but on the last Duran Duran album, there was a song called Danceophobia, which is definitely my least favorite song on what I already thought was kind of a step down from what they'd done before, but I digress. Basically, the song is the narrator of the song berating this poor guy for just not feeling like dancing at a party. It's just like, wow, you are the worst and it's like, I felt more empathy for the person that Simon's referring to than like, yeah, why aren't you going against what you want to do at this recreational event, man? And I got that kind of feeling, that same kind of, and also that song has a spoken word interlude from Lindsay Lohan, which doesn't help.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And it, like, pushes the danceophobia as, like, a disease and, like, a doctor diagnosing it, and it's really cringeworthy. Anyway, and for the first few tracks on the album, I got that same kind of feeling, especially with I believe the song Chunky. That might have been it, where I think it was like the pre-chorus was like, if you didn't come here to party, then go home. And it's like that's weirdly, it's like it seems like you're very much a populist kind of guy trying to get everyone involved in the fun, and you're just kind of shunning people away for how they choose to enjoy themselves. Okay.
However,
I'll let you have your rebuttal.
If you have any problems with the song Perm, then you're getting blocked, friend.
You know what? The weird thing about Perm, I was about to bring it up. That's the thing where it refers to those kinds of ideas the most, and it's the one spot where I'm okay with it. Because it's like, from how Bruno sets it up,
it feels like more the point, kind of.
Yeah, exactly. Because another song is like this little thing of like, yeah, we're partying. Oh, and also you go home. We don't like you. But in this one, it's like he kind of sets it up in the verse as like this person's only there to like get his autograph. Well, I got my pen in the penthouse. I love that line. And it's like, it seems like he's more just trying to get rid of any superficial stuff with celebrity and all that, and just kind of get people together to have a good time. That I can appreciate. Plus, again, it's one of the few songs on the record that has like this awesome kind of groove and like old time like funk kind of vibe to it that I was a big fan of. Same thing for Finesse. That was my other kind of favorite on the album.
I think I really like I don't think I loved it. It's not my favorite off the album, but it's definitely like top 5, which I guess isn't saying tons considering it's only a 9-track album. But it's definitely I'd say top 4.
By the way, I just gotta say, that's one thing that keeps it for me from totally like hating the album overall is that it's mercifully short. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. I really dig Versace on the Floor. I didn't really like it that much at first, but it's just that it's such this like, and I definitely like the more upbeat songs on that album a little more than like the slow jams. But like that's just such a good slow jam. I can kind of see some people saying it's like boring, but
that's the one where I just don't get it because here's the thing, like. Mostly positive opinions I've seen have been from Spectrum Pulse, who call it like his favorite on the album, and I decided purposefully to not watch any reviews of it before going into this podcast so I can like show my unfiltered opinions out here. But I know that he covered in Billboard Breakdown and he like said it was like this awesome slow jam like you're saying, but the vibe I got is like it's kind of a similar thing with 24 Karat Magic, where it's like, why would you want to bring back that horrible, like, luxury rap style of the mid-2000s? I'm thinking, like, this sounds like the really bad and dated R&B of, like, 1986, you know? And it's like, I'm wondering,
I
like...
don't feel it with that, but I know, something I actually say this in my Worst of the Year video with No by Meghan Trainor, which we all knew was going to be on there.
Of course.
Don't act surprised. Like, why would you make a throwback hit to early 2000s boy band?
Right?
Like, no one, like, we make fun of that for not being very good.
Exactly. It's like how these metalcore bands now are trying to bring back new metal. It's like, why?
Yeah, no one likes new metal. I guess, I mean...
Well, like, why would you want to? But regardless...
Well, that's what I love about Uptown Funk, is it's a throwback slang I love.
Exactly.
What, like, I don't get why, like, with, like, Meghan Trainor and Charlie Puth, like, why are we wanting to do, like, that, like, very dated, not, like, soul or, like, interesting 50s music, just that very bland bubblegum, just not... Interesting.
Yeah, because one gag I had I wrote down for the best songs video talking about how bad 2016 was for the charts is that I considered last year this awkward mid-decade transitional year, but this is more than that. Like I think the exact words were, "This isn't 1990 bad. This is 1960 bad." After Elvis, before the Beatles period. But I'm getting away from this. But like for Tossing the Floor, like whenever I hear that song, I just imagine. Like, the instrumental on it sounds like the karaoke version of itself. I'm just imagining these stock images of, like, a beach in the background, in the screen, in the dimly lit karaoke bar with one light bulb going off, and just...
A really bad font choice.
Yeah, like in italicized Comic Sans, just scrolling up super slowly, and like the singer happens to be really good, but even he can't save it.
I kind of see that, but I still.
Yeah, I mean, again,
I still love it, but it's like, dang it, that makes way too much sense.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, as far as slow jams, I really like Too Good to Say Goodbye. I think that Perm and Finesse were like the 3 highlights to me.
Mm-hmm.
And
I really like That's What I Like.
And then honestly, all the other ones kind of Let's Go. I forgot there was one thing about Straight Up and Down that totally stood out to me as like particularly horrible. I forgot exactly what it was. It must have been one of the lyrics.
Well, it's funny. I remember because like people seem to like the album. But like a lot of people were Calling All My Lovelies. That one's bad. That one's bad.
Thank you.
And then I'm just like, wait a minute. I'm supposed to not like this one? Uh-oh. This one I like it. Dang it.
Oh, okay. It was the first line of the song of Straight Up and Down, which like when you hear a line in a song and it's like it's a quotable for all the wrong reasons, and you just start saying it ironically to your friends.
Yeah.
So, the line, "Girl, I bet your mama named you good looking, 'cause you sure look good to me."
Oh, Bruno.
Like, if any other person said that, and honestly, even him saying it, I'm not letting him get away with that. Like I have any influence, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, I get you.
Yeah, but I just kind of want to get thoughts out about that because, like, I feel like such a minority on this. Like, everyone else that's disliking it just, hates Bruno Mars in general. When I loved Unorthodox Jukebox.
I mean, I love. I mean, I think I like every song I've heard on there, but most underrated. I freaking love Gorilla.
Yeah, it's stupid, but in a good way.
It's aware of how stupid it is. Let's not act like it's not.
And there's some fantastic. Moonshine I always thought was a really underrated song. I wish that was a single. Let me think here. But yeah, I didn't think I could find an album I liked less than his debut, but there we go. Because that was like the biggest mixed bag, and especially again with this job of like hearing all the stuff I listened to on watching on VH1 as like a 13-year-old, like on that playlist you got Just the Way You Are, you got Grenade, you got It Will Rain, you got and you also had When I Was Your Man, Treasure, and one thing that I wanted to bring up in some form. They have Locked Out of Heaven, and it has probably one of the funniest censorings of a pop song I've ever heard. So
what is it?
So the pre-chorus, because your sex takes
me to paradise.
And usually they just like silence the word sex, But I noticed something off the first time I heard it there, and then I listened to it the second time and I caught it. So what it does is, the last line of the fourth line of, just the verse, da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da, and then it goes back and just repeats the, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh.
It just repeats that again, and then goes to the chorus.
That's amazing.
And it just doesn't flow at all, and it just makes me wonder who does the playlist for these restaurants. Like, is it one big company, or... Because that had to be just one intern that didn't even care that day.
I remember reading an article back when people thought they liked All About That Bass.
Wait, what?
Back when people thought they liked All About That Bass.
There was a time for that? When that happened?
Oh, yeah. Before that was like a huge hit, it was like...
What?
People were like, oh my gosh, this song's great.
Where was I for that?
I don't know. I know where I was. I was like, yeah, this song's great.
Now it's my turn to hang up.
Yeah, but then it was very... I don't know. I think it's funny because even I was like took me a little longer to like really hate it, but like... I still disliked Meghan Trainor, but I'm like, that one song's fine. And I'm like, wait a minute. No, it's not.
You know what? I mean, I can't hate too much because, in the last episode, I was, trying to make like a running joke out of 7 years getting all those nominations, and I loved that song the first few times I heard it too, so I can't even hate.
Yeah. But what's funny about, I remember reading a Billboard article about Meghan Trainor, like an interview with her about how she recorded a Radio Disney version.
What? But there aren't even
of All About the Bass.
There aren't even like curse words in it. It's just like taking out boom boom.
Well, I mean, it does. It does say bitch and it does say shit, but like,
it does.
Yeah, it was very weird because like she's so not that.
Yeah,
her whole thing is like she just makes these like really obnoxiously clean.
I was gonna say and like wait, Radio Disney, like isn't that what Kids Bop's for?
Well, yeah, that's what's interesting. Like Radio Disney, they basically like if you go to the Radio Disney charts, it's the original versions of songs just edited slightly or whatever. Let's see, what is the number one song currently in the world of Radio Disney? It frustrates me a little that they have Radio Disney Country. Like, they would never do Radio Disney Rap, but they have like a separate section for country music.
Yeah, like Rolling Stone has the same thing.
Radio Disney.
I guess while you were looking at that, like, kind of on the same thing as Meghan Trainor, like re-recording the songs to, to be more palatable for the audience. Like the first time I noticed something like that was when I was listening to radio and Little Lion Man from Mumford & Sons came on. And of course, I really fucked it up this time.
Deny my dare.
No. But I heard the version and it just said, I really messed it up this time.
Yeah.
But the word mess sounded like it was jarring because like the word mess sounded like it was in much lower audio quality. So it's like I just like to imagine he just like recorded it right into his phone and just texted it to the record company guy.
Well, I know just Pillow Talk, which is still a good song. I stand by that. Obviously it's like, dang it, now I can't think.
It drops an F-bomb somewhere.
Yeah, I'm just trying to remember what's the line.
Well, it's not a very memorable song, so I don't. So yeah.
No, it is though. That's what's confusing me. Is like, I remember like everyone said it wasn't. I'm like, are you serious? I remember a lot of it, but now I can't. Okay. Yeah. In the place it isn't here, place it isn't me. Yeah, reckless behavior. Please. Oh, love is like fucking and fighting all. It's a paradise. Yeah. They change it to loving, of course. Yeah, that makes sense. But it's like you can tell it was like very like Zayn, we need one, and he's just like, okay, loving and fighting all. Like it sounds so bad. It just doesn't fit with the melody. Like it's just like they clearly it was like a completely different recording. Yes, wow. The top 30. Radio Disney.
Right now?
Right now, these are the top 30 songs.
So are these...
we likely...
Yeah, so are these like original Radio Disney songs by like the people they're trying to promote?
No. That's what's interesting. There might be one or two that'll be like a Disney song, but a lot of these, quite funny.
Okay.
So the number one is Shout Out to My Ex by Little Mix.
Of course.
So that's the number one, which is kind of weird.
I don't necessarily have a... Oh yeah, there's like this Been Better Sex line. How do they fix that?
It's just funny because it's like that. This was, kind of like charted for a week, and now it's like in Radio Disney, it's the number one song.
Yeah.
And then number two, greatest song of all time, Juju on That Beat.
What?
Is the number two song on Radio Disney, which I guess makes sense.
Because I was thinking,
it's that
I was ready to take the burden of that song's success on our generation's shoulders, but apparently we're going to be screwed for the next one too. If they're the ones making it.
Like I know Watch Me was huge because of kids. Like that's why I never got mad at this. I'm like, okay, Watch Me. This is just a kid song. I think people like kind of associate it with like, Ray Shrimmer just because it's like, oh, it's a guy with a weird voice, but like Watch Me, that's a kid song.
Yeah. Plagiarize.
It's kind of weird about
teaching kids to plagiarize. Still.
Yeah. So then Don't Want to Know, which I've still not heard anything outside of one word.
I mean, I guess it makes sense. It's sanitary enough.
Then Mercy by Shawn Mendes.
No
In the Name of Love by Martin Garrix and Bebe Rexha. Scars to You're Beautiful, of course. And then the Alessia Cara version of How Far I'll Go.
The inferior version.
Yeah, that's what's frustrating me. We all, as a public, we're like, yeah, we don't want the Demi Lovato version of Let It Go.
I was going to say the same thing.
Get that out of here. We're going to make the real version a hit.
Right?
Yet now, we're like, yeah, the good song, but let's make it like really boring and be sung by a really mediocre singer. Yeah, we want that.
Yeah.
To the real version.
Yeah, I mean, and I actually just saw the movie a couple days ago. Great movie, by the way. And the song itself, like, when you look at just the song itself, it's kind of cheesy. It's a little bit cliche. It's kind of a typical, princess, I want more, that kind of thing. But even not technically princess, but you know what I'm saying. Disney formula thing. But it works as well as it does because of the context of the movie and like the situation it's in about her wanting to go past the reef and all that. But if he just put just a typical pop singer on it, and I didn't want to describe Alessia Cara as that, but she's done everything to destroy her credibility since Here faded out.
Or just when Here came out. You and everyone else except me.
Fine, I can accept that. Maybe it is a little too try hard related, but you know what? I think this is kind of like the opposite thing as Bruno Mars thing. Like that song, that's kind of the rebuttal I would give to a song like Chunky or 24 Karat Magic. It's like, I don't know, because like you don't want to come off like the edgy, I'm not like the other teens, that old thing, and which I'm 20, so there's even less of an excuse. But yeah, but it's like everything that she's put out since then. I didn't listen to her album, so I don't know. But
it's not good. I did.
Everything
is not good.
That's a shame. Like everything that's come out since then is just like, wow, the label just grabbed any personality from there and shook it out, and yeah.
See, a lot of people like to compare Daya to be like the not good Lord.
That's Halsey.
I've always got that from Alessia Cara.
No, it's Halsey. She's the not good Lord.
Yeah, Halsey definitely.
Because she's the one that's trying really hard to, exactly what I was saying, like trying really hard to be against the grain when you're not really that far off.
Yeah.
Like I feel like she really pushes that in a more obnoxious way, whereas the other people is just like Lord definitely caused in a way the success of, I guess Daya's and Alessia Cara's in a way.
See, that's my thing. I think Daya is just so incompetent.
Yeah.
That you can't even call her like the bad Lord. She's just the bad everything.
Yeah.
Whereas like, I definitely think like Alessia Cara is just like Lord
Light.
Yeah, just the radio's like really looking for a new Lord, and they're just not getting that.
And that's not going to happen again until Lord friggin' does something.
Yeah.
Damn it. But man, did we digress from something earlier? Or are you looking to, oh yeah, the Ray Disney stuff.
Yeah. So then we have Starving. Then we have That's My Girl by Fifth Harmony, and then Blow Your Mind Moi, then Closer featuring Halsey, who's the main artist, you might ask. TCS.
What?
TCS, everyone's favorite EDM duo.
Well, I mean,
TCS.
That is technically the first letter of each of the words and then the last letter of Chainsmokers. But did they just become that?
They can't say Chainsmokers.
Oh, right. I didn't think about it. But why not just call like the Chains? Or like the Chain, bring back some Fleetwood Mac vibes.
Yeah, of course. And then 24 Karat Magic. Yeah. Then Words by Daya, which I've never heard of. I Got You by Baby Rexha, which I've never heard of. Then Hand Clap. And then we basically have our second Kendrick Lamar feature on Radio Disney, which is amazing. I like that.
But is it the greatest?
The greatest.
Yeah.
Which is garbage.
We gotta give him a better representation, man. We gotta get...
It'd be cute if there's a bunch of kids who are like, Kendrick Lamar is my favorite rapper, because like two not good guest verses he just shot out.
We gotta get really dough on Radio Disney. Let's start a campaign. Let's start a hashtag.
You friends don't even know all that talk they know show. Wanna tell me nothing? And then it would be like, eat your vegetables.
I broke up with my bitch because we ain't arguing enough.
Yeah, just like, I stopped talking to my friend because we argued too much.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we could go on that all day.
And then Bad Things, This Town, All Time Low.
Hey, that's...
And I...
Wait. I want to know. I want to know how they censor the masturbate line.
Well, I know what the radio does, because you can't say that on the radio either. They just say, "You're the reason that I just can't concentrate."
Boo!
Well, yeah, come on. Like, we're adults here. We can hear the word masturbate. It's okay.
It's just like, the funny thing is that, like, what I love about that is that no one really says that word in a song explicitly, because it's just so, clinical.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, does it fall into our list? I don't know. And it's like everyone's scrambling.
I really want to make like a graphic sex jam where every single thing is just the scientific term.
Yeah, that has to be some kind of comedy sketch on YouTube. You know what? I think that there was this old like comic on College Humor's website that was where it was this guy bragging to his friends like in a world where like sex slang didn't exist.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be great.
And I forgot exact terms, but humor. Yeah. Well, I mean, the videos are really the only thing that matters from them nowadays, but yeah. So I mean, anything else in the Radio Disney thing?
So we have Slumber Party by Britney Spears and Tinashe. Okay, then we have Kids by One Republic, Love Me Now. Then this is actually a Disney song. I'm Gonna Love You by Sophia Carson. And then Kelsey Ballerini. Then another song which I assume is a Disney thing. Then Ex Ambassadors, Disney thing. Lady Gaga. You're Not There by Lucas Graham.
Oh, that's odd subject matter for...
Yeah. And then we have Water Under the Bridge.
Wait, so are they trying to make You're Not There the next single?
They might.
I mean, I think they might have played it on some late night show recently. I don't know. But... And I doubt they're doing the Chance the Rapper.
I really want Mark to do a Billboard breakdown where it's this.
Oh, yeah. Or instead of the world's hit, there's the Disney hit that's actually really great that no one knows about.
Yeah. Yeah, it's we only had 2 new entries this week, so instead we're going to be talking about this new song I've never heard, Closer by TCS. Who are these guys?
One other thing, I'm not sure if you wanted to touch on it all, if you've heard it. Have you heard the 21 Pilots Mute Math sessions?
I have not heard that, no.
Yeah, so are you aware of it?
I have never even heard of that.
Oh, okay. So 21 Pilots...
Oh, wait. Huh? Is that the thing they released for free?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I did briefly hear about that, yes.
Okay, yeah, so they released this, the whole video sessions are on YouTube. It's this 25-minute thing. They played 5 songs from 4 songs from Blurry Face, one was Heathens. And it's basically 21 Pilots and Mute Math. And I'm only casually familiar with Mute Math, I've heard, but and I mean, I was wondering, I was just bringing it up, I didn't know if you had any thoughts on it or anything, but you haven't heard it, so
But speaking of 21 Pilots, I've had a question I've been meaning to ask someone.
Sure. Sure. Yeah.
Because,
we can abandon it. We can abandon
it, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely. Vessel's one of my all-time favorite albums, and we can abandon the Mute Math topic. By the way.
Yeah. No. It was just a quick question.
Sure.
Do you think, because I wouldn't expect it, but I feel like stranger things have indeed happened. Do you think for their, 3rd album, which I feel like will be sooner than people think. I feel like it's going to be next year.
Hey, hang on. Can I correct you?
I feel like they know. What?
Can I correct you? It will actually be their 5th album.
Oh, duh. Yeah.
Yeah, or
it will be, because they're self-titled, regional at best, then Vessel, then Blurry Face.
Or 4th and a half. If
I know my things. Yeah. I just...
But label album, I gotcha. Sorry, I felt like being
the ones people that's.
Yeah, I felt like being an asshole. Sorry.
Well, that's me. It's I know. Oh no, it's fine. That does count, but I'm sick of Wikipedia and people acting like that the first 10 Car Seat Headrest albums are official albums.
Yeah.
I feel like those are all if he was a rapper, we would call those mixtapes. We wouldn't call those his debut album. No. They were unsigned. Most of them were free. They're very different quality.
Yeah.
I have even trouble calling Teens of Style his debut album. Since it's a compilation.
Yeah, well, it's re-recordings, but I get what you mean.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're gonna be getting into this later on because, so this episode, I can't believe I didn't bring up at this by now, but this was originally supposed to be our sort of deep dive into Car Seat Headrest, but you had our plans going on. Totally understand. I kind of needed time to do year-end stuff anyway, so it was cool. We're probably gonna do this again in a few months or something, but it's just funny thing is most of the albums are free and 1, 2, 3, and 4 are barely
$1.
I can't imagine
$5.
releasing those promotionally.
Yeah. But so back to the 21 Pilots thing that I completely just changed the subject on. No, that was definitely more me. Because obviously, 21 Pilots, they are a bit more artistic. They're not just pumping out singles left and right. They're not that kind of band. Yeah. But despite it being a soundtrack hit, and maybe it'll be enough time that it'll be forgotten or whatever, but I could almost imagine Heathens being on their next album.
Don't put the idea in my head, man. That would be shameless. I mean, here's the thing.
Because
what I could imagine.
The other artist that comes to mind that had a big soundtrack hit that was then on his album, despite it being a soundtrack hit, was The Weeknd. I did not expect Earned It to be on a Weeknd album, and it was.
And Ellie Goulding did the same thing with her 50 Grade song.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. If it does happen, it would definitely be fueled by Ramen forcing it on them.
Yeah.
You know? And just like maybe tacking it on as like an iTunes bonus track or something. I could maybe see that.
Yeah. That now thinking about that would probably make more sense. But I think it'd just be weird if it was like, I could almost imagine them just putting it like smack in the middle of the album and being like, okay, here it is. This is like, you know, it's called Heathens in parentheses from the Suicide Squad soundtrack.
Or even worse,
just like Earned It was like in parentheses 50 Shades of Grey.
Or like even worse, it's like a remix, like to make it fit in with the album more, but it's like no. Yeah, and the whole album is dance hall beats. Like I'm just imagining the total, imagining like if they did a total sellout move on the next record, like what would what could that sound like?
As great as Vestal is, I was always that one guy who kind of liked Blurryface more.
I get it.
So maybe if they just 100% sell out, maybe they'll make like the best album ever. Who knows?
Well, because I don't think Blurryface had any like sellout moments on necessarily. He did say,
yeah. I don't think it did. I mean,
there was
it could be considered that if you're like a diehard fan.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, if you just hate mainstream, if you just hate that they're popular, you can always go back to that because 21 Pilots fans are, as I state multiple times in the upcoming video, insufferable. But you know what? Crap, I was gonna make some point, but it just completely bleh.
That's all right. I do have to go fairly soon.
Oh yeah.
So.
You know what I love is that I'm kind of glad we didn't. In a way, it's kind of better we didn't have the deep dive because we were able to just kind of go a little more free form with it, which is nice.
This was fun. This was a quite fun.
Yeah.
Podcasts I've done. I always like ones that are just kind of people just talking, and they're not like, all right, so this is what we're doing today. On to the next topic. Like that's why, even though Kind of Funny does do different topics, like they're all separate in different videos. So it's just like they say a sentence. This is the topic, and then they just talk. And I think anything that kind of reminds me of that, I'm down with.
Yeah, that's exactly what I think my small problem with the last episode was. Even though I'm proud of it, I'm glad I was out and everything. Was that I kind of crammed one too many segments into it in retrospect. So like we kind of
we've done that
because
on our podcast.
Yeah, because last year when we did the Grammys thing for the 2016 ones. That took like over an hour. And granted, there were 3 hosts then, but I still got the feeling that if, I gave us a little more free reign, we could have gone a little bit more in depth on that stuff and like critiquing the Grammys as a whole instead of just like taking it as like, Disturbed is nominated for that. We're not going to comment on that,
Yeah. But yeah, this was really fun, and I should probably go now. This seems like a good kind of stopping point considering I would have to go soon. This would be nice to. That way, it's not like we talk for 5 more minutes and it's a more abrupt ending. This feels like a nice little stopping point.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because I legitimately didn't expect you to hang up at the moment you did. So, yeah, no, I'm still kind of experimenting with the format of the show. So, I mean, maybe if I have guests coming on, up until when Johnny can come back, then maybe we could do like one that's a bunch of segments and one that's more like this.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. I'd definitely be down to come back.
Yeah, I mean, I know you're gonna be coming back for follow up on the Grammy stuff. So maybe we can make 2 episodes then where it's like one's following up on the Grammys and then one's car seat headrest.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, but until then, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Mad Sounds. If you guys haven't checked out Kevin, I strongly encourage it, and check out the last episode we did where we talked about Grammy nominations and a bunch of other cool stuff like that. Subscribe on iTunes if you're watching us on YouTube. Check it out on YouTube if you're listening on iTunes. Trying to network like that. And
yeah, synergy.
Yeah. I'm such a whore. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Mad Sounds. And Kevin, is there anything you wanna sign out with?
I would like to sign out with go buy Perfect Illusion on iTunes. I always see people like whenever a big song comes out. I'm just getting off track.
Yeah.
I see people on like Twitter be like just randomly spamming like buy blank on iTunes. Like, oh, now I will because this one random person told me to.
Yeah, you know, that's a hashtag. That's like one of those hashtags that pops up. It's like it came up today with that Austin Mahone tape with like buy for me plus you on iTunes is the whole. And it's like that's not a hashtag that you think people would voluntarily write all the way through. You think like for example, Austin Mahone himself would be trending because he released this new project, even though
yeah.
But it's specifically buy this on iTunes. Like 500,000 people legitimately just signed up for his street team or something. Like it's just kind of a funny thing to me. I don't know. But we don't want to get another tangent because we are just doing like the sign off here. We gotta keep some kind of structure here on Mad Sounds.
So yeah, go buy Perfect Illusion on iTunes, and I'm gonna stop recording now.
Bye.